Hello and Assalamu alaikum guys. In this particular video, we will be talking about different measures of central tendency. So starting right away, the first measure that you need to understand is mean. For a data, mean is the average value. So to find out the mean or the average value, you would sum all the numbers and you divide it by the total number of values. For instance, if I have a data like 3, 3, 7, 9 and so on, and I wanted to find out their mean value, I am going to add all of these values in the numerator and I'll count how many values are there and I divide it by that, and that way I would be able to calculate the mean value. In case of frequency distribution tables, you have a data and you have their corresponding frequencies. So this table means that 1 is occurring 5 times. So 1 needs to be added 5 times. 2 is occurring 7 times. So 2 needs to be added 7 times. 3 is occurring 9 times. So 3 needs to be added 9 times, which is 27. So that means I multiply data with their corresponding frequencies and add them all up, which is also called sigma fx. That gives me sum of all possible values. Since frequencies represent how many times each data occur, so sigma f gives me total number of possible values. So sigma fx, I make an extra column, which is fx. I multiply x with f and list all the values in the column of fx and add them all up to get sigma fx. And similarly, I do sigma f, I'll get the sum of all frequencies. And I divide them and I'll get myself the mean value. In case I have a grouped frequency table, what I'm going to have to do is I'd have to find out the mid values. That would be what I'd use in place of x. So the average of 1 in 5 is 3, average of 6 in 10 is 8, and so on and so forth. Once I get the mid value, I'll still do the same thing, f into x, that'll be my another column, and I'll add them up, I'll get myself sigma fx. Similarly, I'd add all the frequencies, I'll get sigma f, and when I divide sigma fx by sigma f, I'll get myself the mean value. The advantage of the mean value is that the calculations would use representation of every value of data. The disadvantage is that it requires lengthy working for calculations. Other possible measure of central tendency is median. Median is the centrally located value of an arranged data. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure that the data is arranged in ascending or descending order. And then I'll see the value that's located right in the center. In some cases, with fewer values, I can easily figure it out. In other situations, when I have larger number of values, I can use a formula for the central location, which is n plus 1 upon 2. If I have 2 values in the middle, then I'm going to calculate the average of 2 values to get myself the median. So when I apply central location formula as n plus 1 upon 2, if I get one answer, that would be my median. But if I apply the formula for central location and I get a decimal answer, then that means I would have 2 central locations. Like if I count these values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I do 8 plus 1 upon 2, that's 4.5. So if I'm getting a decimal answer, then that means I have 2 central locations. I subtract 0.5, I get 1 central location. I add 0.5, I get another central location. So I have 2 central locations. One is 4th and one is 5th. So I see 4th location is occupied by 4 and 5th location is occupied by 7. So I'm going to average these out and I'll get myself the median value. I can do a similar thing in case of a frequency table as well. I first of all would calculate the total frequency. That would be my n, and I apply the formula. If I get one value, so that means that I just have to see what number lies at this position. Like the total frequency over here was 21. I did 21 plus 1 upon 2. I got 11 as my central location. Now I'm going to start observing the cumulative frequencies for a particular data. The cumulative frequency till here is 5, which means that first 5 places are occupied by 3. The cumulative frequency till here is 9, so that means from 6th to 9th location we have 4. And then if the cumulative frequency here is 16, that's 4 plus 7, 16, that means that from 10th to 16th location I have 5, and hence 11th location is occupied by 5, and that would be my median. Similarly, if I look at this particular data, I sum up all the frequencies, they're coming out to be 22 plus 1 upon 2. It gives me a decimal answer, 11.5. So that means I have to observe 2 locations. 11.5 minus 0.5, 11. 11.5 plus 0.5, 12. So I again start calculating the cumulative frequencies. Up till here is 5, up till here is 5 plus 6, 11, and up till here is 11 plus 5, 16. That means that 11th location is occupied by 4, whereas the next location, which is still 16, but the 12th location is occupied by 5. So what is more important for me is that 11th location is 4 and 12th location is 5. So I'm going to have to average 4 and 5 to get myself the median value. The advantage of the median value is that it helps you get rid of the effect of outliers in the data, the aberrant values. So if some number is too big or some number is too small, that wouldn't affect my calculation of median. Like for instance, I'd say that there's a student whose absences per month at school are 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, and 1. But on 1 month, the student fell ill. And since the student fell ill, he was absent, unfortunately, for 10 days. So in such a situation, I would not want to calculate mean as my measure of central tendency. I would want to calculate median, because once I arrange the data, 10 being an outlier value would lie at the upper tail and would not affect my calculation of median. And that would be a better representation of the central tendency. It's a little hectic process because it requires data to be arranged and it does not involve every value in calculation. So these two are the disadvantages of calculation of median. The last measure of central tendency is mode. Mode is the most recurring data value, the one that has the highest frequency. So if you look at your data and you see a certain number that exists most number of times, then you can directly see and tell that that would be the mode. Then you can directly tell that that would be the mode. In case of frequency table, the highest frequency would be for the modal value. The advantage for the mode is that you can, first of all, you can calculate it quite easily or determine it quite easily. The second thing is that the modal value can also be determined for qualitative data. You can't calculate median for qualitative data because you cannot arrange it. You can't calculate mean for qualitative data because you can't add it. But you can calculate mode for qualitative data because you can just directly see that which quality has the highest frequency. So you can easily determine it. The disadvantage again for mode is that it does not exist for every single value. Thank you so much guys. If you liked the video, please click on the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.